The popular Netflix series Outer Banks is back for season 3.
Film critic Pam Powell talked to a couple of the stars on the latest plot twists and their characters.
Before we start, though, I have to thank you both and Netflix because season 1 came out right at the beginning of the lockdown for COVID, and man, did I need something fun to watch, and you guys provided that for me. Hooked me for season 2, and now here we are at season 3. We've got a treasure hunt, we've got a mystery, we've got a thriller, we even have some sweet love stories in this, which is just so much fun. Now, in season 3, do you feel like your characters have grown and changed? Chase, let's start with you.
Yeah, I think John B is really starting to realize the ramifications for the actions and the situations that he's put everybody in. And it sort of comes to a help. You know, there's this big epiphany at the end of the second season where his dad's alive, and it's going to be a lot of push and pull this year. And I think that for him is going to either force a lot of growth or a lot of, explosion, for lack of a better term. Because there is a lot of explosions.
There's a lot.
There are. How about you, Rudy?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of growth in ways that I think JJ might not want. I think he's scared of growing up. I think he's scared of responsibility, and that's kind of thrown onto him, I think, a little soon because his dad kind of is like, bye. And then it's like, wait, what does that mean for me? And, he kind of has to come to reality once he leaves Polandia.
Daddy issues.
Daddy issues, so yeah.
I have to ask this question. You guys are in your 20s, somewhere thereabouts, not teenagers anymore. However, you're mistaken. However, there's not one moment that I don't believe that you guys are seniors in high school.
Well, thank you.
Cool.
What aspect of your own upbringing and maybe high school years yourself did you bring to this character to create that sense of authenticity?
So I grew up like 30 minutes outside of Cocoa Beach in Florida. And so there was a lot of beach delinquency going on in my upbringing. So when I read the script and saw that it was what it was, I was like, oh, okay, I've got a couple moments to pull from in particular. But I think, I wasn't, like John B., I wasn't as invested in school as I was extracurricular activities.
Extracurricular.
That sounds like I was doing drugs. I wasn't selling drugs. But yeah, no, I think it was a lot of especially being a young, fresh actor and being green, so to speak. You kind of pull on the strings of what you know and what you have that's close to your heart. And I think that's every actor's process, is finding the truth in it. So I was very fortunate that John B. and I had a couple through lines of that stuff at that time in my life.
Very good. How about you, Rudy?
Same, like growing up in a fishing town, similar to the Outer Banks, also tourist town. So I think like the similarities of like Turons in the show played a huge similarity in my coming.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, Turons.
Yeah.
And my upbringing is that it's like there's the people that come into the island and then they leave, and like there's the local side, there's the local people, and that is a thing in my hometown of Ketchikan, and beach is like that's the place you throw a party. It's just you go to the beach, have some pallets, which are not necessarily legal, but at the same time, it was a really good time, and I definitely had some similarities with the show with that.
Okay, I was not anticipating that answer to that question, given that Ketchikan is in Alaska. So
Yes,
I was not expecting that. You alluded to the fact that there are a lot of explosions that are in all of the seasons, and season 3 is promising to have exactly a lot of that kind of fun chase scene as well, with some explosions. Tell me about, do you do any of these actual scenes, or do you have stunt doubles for doing all of this stuff? How do you guys do this?
Yeah, it's sort of a two-hander. Like, we try to do the majority of our stuff, but it's always done a hell of a lot better by our stunt doubles.
Yeah.
So we're very fortunate that we have an incredible stunt team that keeps us safe and does these big, massive set pieces and stunts. In particular, this year we had quite a few big ones.
Yeah, no, I love the stunt team that we have. It is a kind of a fun dynamic because you get to know them really well, and then you kind of get to know what I'm capable of, and they get to know what you as an actor can do. And you're like, you kind of look at each other and you're like, you got this one. And you're like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a go. And it's a fun time to like have that like
just the fun
chemistry.
dynamic.
It's a different type of chemistry with your stunt double, which is fun.
So give me an example of one that you did that you were like, yeah, I got this one.
There's this. I mean, I was lucky enough to like be able to actually ride the motorcycle by myself. Like I was able to like not have him like come in or anything. It was just me doing it by myself. And I came into a scene. There's this scene where I come to see you, and I come in on the motorcycle, and I thought for sure they were gonna be like, let's have a stunt double do it. No, that was me the entire time. You know, and I love doing that.
I had a scene, speaking of motorcycles, in the first season.
No.
And what?
Yeah,
Oh.
I remember.
Yeah, I thought you said no.
No, you're not.
Where I get mad and I'm like, let's steal the gold or blah, blah, blah. And I go to start his motorcycle and I try to steal it. And I got it like the first 2 takes fine and I took off. And then like every take after that, the bike wouldn't start. And I'm like on it, just like, come on.
You're like, Jumpy, wait!
And they're all
Jumpy, wait!
They're like, hey, don't go.
Yeah. Don't. Right away.
And then we had a stunt double who actually doubled Rudy a lot in the first season. He was a freak on a motorcycle, Jason. And Jason just hopped on there and just like burnt out, ripped a wheelie out of there. And I was like, that should for sure be show, not me at all.
And they did. They put it in.
Yeah.